today is a very special day. We are going to go and pick up a little bit of a new toy. What toy, you might ask? Well, I'm gonna go grab a GoPro Fusion just to see what all the hype is about. And you know what's great about buying things from stores rather than online is it's very easy to return it. Let's give this little thing a shot, see what we can film, and if it's just not right, we send that bitch back. Treat yourself. GoPro Fusion. Whoa, whoa. This camera made by GoPro is their 360 VR camera. Lenses on both sides, made to capture 360 degrees and stitch it together in their application. Retails for about 700 bucks, 5.2K at 30 frames a second. And waterproof-ish. Water resistant, waterproof, 18 megapixel. The reason I got this is because I am looking to do some dynamic filming where we can take the camera into precarious positions and utilize the 360 for really interesting shots. But here's the unboxing. Get my trusty designer's favorite tool, ye old X-Acto blade. There it is. Our literature. The camera. Pretty freaking thin offset lenses. You can see one over here, one over here, capturing the full dome view, stitching them together. Cute little case. We've got our mounts, our cable, our handle / tripod, extendable, and the one battery. Our mount screw. This bottom part opens to be a cute little tripod. The interesting thing about this is it takes 2 micro SD cards. 2 is required. You have to have 2 at once. It dumps the footage at the same time onto both to reduce heat buildup and for just stability. Just like so. Then on there, you can see SD1, SD2. SD2 is in, SD1 is in. Seal it up. What's nice about this GoPro unit for the Fusion is that we have the ability to use use power while we're using it. So you can do long shots without worrying about the battery dying. And it's hard to find the replacement batteries for these. Let's get this on the handle, because that's where this thing's really gonna shine. And boom, we're set. Got a little setup. Gotta connect to the app. You need this app right here. Connecting, it's that easy. You don't have to change the Wi-Fi or anything. It does it automatically. How glorious. Battery level's low, so we gotta plug this motherfucker in. So the battery brand new was 16%. Not great. See, when you get this stuff, you want to just take it out automatic. Oh God. You want to take it out right away and just go enjoy it. But of course, you get a battery, it's already depleted. You gotta sit around like a jackass, just looking at your new gear, all excited. It's like Christmas morning before your parents wake up. You guys gotta look at the presents. It's not ideal. Not ideal. While this charges, we'll take a break. We'll come back in a minute. You got a little package too. I don't know, it looks like it's from China.
Thank you.
Okay, we're on the Fusion 360. Finally, after all the setup, we got it together, and now we can use it. It is a different day than I was previously shooting, but now we're outside and gonna take a little trip and see what kind of shots we can get. We're shooting in... We're shooting 5.2K at 30 frames a second. And one of the cool things... Whoa! Okay, my car's messy. One of the cool things about this camera is it has 360-degree audio as well. So, I'm testing the raw audio on the camera just to see what it's like. I thought I'd try out the Fusion again, put a little bit more testing video together. So we're gonna put it down, we're gonna skate around, then put it down, still raw audio from the camera, and then see what we can get. It'll be fun. This is like a day to be out on a patio. Drinking something nice. Okay. Is this camera right for you? What are you doing? You know, are you biking around and filming? Are you skating around? Do you want to strap it to a drone? It's kind of up to you. I think that if you're looking for a different perspective, that's what this is good for. Shooting little videos and adding some interest. Something different than just a normal camera or even a drone. Gives you that cool fisheye or little planet type of style that just, everything just kind of wraps around and looks really interesting. Okay, we're back in the studio. After all that filming, there's a couple things I learned. I have the edit behind me. There's a lot of interesting things about the GoPro Fusion, and I just wanted to follow up all my test video with a conversation. First, the GoPro Fusion is really interesting. Number one, it is a GoPro. As we all know, the GoPro color and clarity is really limited because it is an action camera. The camera is waterproof / resistant, pretty sturdy and hardy, which is awesome because you can take it in, I mean, it's like you can dip it in water for a minute. I mean, I wouldn't take it on like a snorkel tour or something, but if you're jumping into a pool real quick and getting out, it's supposed to hold up. That's awesome. But in that little box, you've got a lot of power and audio, but the way that they have to manage that is by putting a lot of restrictions. One thing I found in the edit is that a lot of the audio that was recorded on the in-camera microphone, it was really hit or miss. Like I think that they're doing some noise reduction, and the noise reduction actually cuts out parts of the footage, as you might have seen. And that can be frustrating when you're trying to just have footage that you can hear. You know, so there's that. It's a GoPro. And this, to me, I think this might be the best audio I've ever heard on a GoPro. And this is by far the most flexible footage you could ever get. But with that flexibility comes a lot of work. In order to just get your shot set, you really have to jump through some freaking hoops. You can't lay this thing down because you don't want the lens to be sitting on any sort of surface. So you gotta bring a little cloth with you everywhere you go and make sure the lenses are nice and clear. And then if you're ever gonna put it anywhere, you gotta make sure you have, which I don't have, but you gotta make sure you have that case, and always put the case on it, or else those lenses will just be setting on some surface. Unless you're propping it up like this, which I guess could work. That's problem number one. Then you take it out, and as you're shooting, you're having a lens, usually naturally as a cinematographer or videographer of any kind, you're having the lens, if you're talking, pointing at you. But there's two lenses, you gotta consider that. Once you get the footage shot, you're shooting, it's great. You have to import it, the 2 cards, which is a lot, that's more, double the cards, whatever. You have to run it through GoPro Fusion's app, their studio app on your computer, and then it will stitch the video together, which I will say the stitching is remarkable. If you look, like right here, I'll pull up an image of me holding, I take the camera like this from the ground while I'm skating, and it edits itself out to where you see my hand almost perfectly stitched together. That's, in this day and age, that's a miraculous feat of video engineering. So you bring the footage into the studio editor, you have to set the horizon lines, and then you have to render it. Now, if you're gonna render at full resolution, some of those clips took 4 hours to render, and they ended up being 20 gigs. I have a new MacBook Pro, and it took a long time. Something to consider. From there, you then have to take that clip, hopefully you rendered it the right way, which of course the first time I didn't, then import it into Premiere. And in Premiere, you can, or After Effects, you can then take the GoPro plugins for reframing, and you set key points for every change you want to make. And when you're flying around, things change a lot. And if you don't set the horizon line really perfectly in the GoPro Studio, the Fusion Studio app, then trying to set the pitch, generally the pitch is up and down and the roll is side to side. But this thing is so 360 and full spectrum that if you didn't set it perfectly in the Studio app, those become a little warpy and crazy, and then you get into S curves and you have to do each one just a little bit to kind of iron them out. It's kind of crazy. It's fun to see that footage, but keep that in mind that if you're looking at this camera, maybe this isn't for you. Like, it might be too complicated to process the footage. You can take the footage straight from here, render it from the GoPro Fusion Studio app, and post it as VR video. I think that if that's what you're looking for, do that. But you don't get a lot of opportunity to edit. So remember that. You know, besides that, I think that the footage is good. It's not great, it's not cinema quality, you know. There's a lot of cool ways to use it. Again, I said that this is about perspective. When you're shooting, trying to find special vantage points and perspectives, that's what gives your video life. That's why people use drones, and drones are becoming overused because everybody has a drone now. But if you use it right and you just twist the perspective, it tells the story in a really rich way. This can do the same thing, and it's okay to have some crazy fisheye or little planet shot as long as it's in context of what you're trying to say. So the GoPro Fusion is about $700. You get this nifty little handle that extends out, which is awesome. Comes out to a little tripod, which is awesome. It's dope. This thing's cool. It's fun. but the amount of processing for your footage and then editing and then careful tuning for your angles and to make sure your subject is in view, that's a lot of work. So consider that before you buy it. I hope you enjoyed this. It was a lot more complicated than I thought it would be to get this all together. And I'll keep playing around and posting some things. I'm gonna keep it, I guess. I might return it, I don't know. GoPro Fusion, give it a try if you want. If you have tried it and you have thoughts, let me know. I hope you like this, and subscribe if you wanna see some more. Cool, good luck.